Hello developers, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe for more updates. Today in this video, we are going to see how to develop CI/CD for .NET MAUI app. Okay, so we have four content for today's video. First, we are going to see Azure build pipeline for Android apps. Then we will see Azure release pipeline for Android apps. So CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous development. So we are going to connect our Azure pipeline to our App Center apps. So let's start. So first, this is some introduction. I leave it to you. You read it. But please take note that for this pipeline we gonna need Android keystroke file, keystroke password, key alias, and key password. So four things you need to keep ready for this pipeline. Okay, so now we will start our Azure build pipeline for Android apps. So first you need to go to this link. So this link I have edited. So you have to paste your project name over here, and other option is you go to the Azure DevOps dashboard, then you click the pipeline, and then you can start the new pipeline over here. Then you need to click new folder and name as Android apps. So here you need to create a new pipeline. First you need to go to the all tab. You see the all, so you need to click the all, and then you will see new folder, add new folder link. So there you add a new folder and create the folder with the name Android apps or whatever name you want to give it. Then you will see create a new pipeline here. So as you see here, my cursor is there. So here you click create a new pipeline here. Then once you tap on that, it will ask you to select your uh, build pipeline for which you want to create it. So here I am selecting use the classic editor. So as you see here in the below, we can see use the classic editor as option. Then you need to fill up the details which is asked for here. So in this my table I have mentioned the select a source repository, teams project. You can define your project name, repository, for which repository you want to build, and I have selected default branch. Means in my project I have multiple branches like develop, demo, and release. Three branch I am having, so I'm selected a develop branch. So here in the teams project, you select your project, you select your repository, and you select your branch name. Then you click the continue button, and it will navigate to next step. So in this step you just need to select empty jobs. So it will ask you which template you want to select. So just select empty job. Then you go to the task menu, select build Azure pipeline build, and then set the following things. So just two things we need to set here. First, name your pipeline. So I have set the name as Android build pipeline. You can define any names whatever you like. Then agent pool I am setting as Azure pipeline, and agent specification I am selecting Windows 2022. Then this will be here is you see my selection is here. So here when you click on pipeline, then it will ask you these three things and you fill up these three things. Then next step you need to set the source. So as you see here I have selected this get sources. So in get sources you define your team, you define your repository, you define your branch, and clean you set to true, and select the option as a sources, tag never, and report a build set status. So here I have set a clean because after building this pipeline I just want to clean my branch, so it will clean your branch after it builds successfully. Then next step is we will modify our agent properties. So here you click the agent and you can define these things. So for all the tasks I have mentioned one table here, whatever you want to set for that particular task I have already defined in this table. So all the tasks I have a same template. One will be table and following will be image. So here you need to edit your agent name. You can define your own name, leave this empty whatever it is there, leave this default, leave this all this default. Just you need to change here job cancel timeout to 1. So just this thing you need to change in this task. Then we'll go to the new task. So now our next task is totally optional, is a bash scripting. So this task is totally optional. If you don't get this why I have added, please leave this uh, means don't create a this task bash scripting, because I have created this is why, because in my project I am using scripting. So with the help of script what I am doing, I am changing my app name, I'm changing my how you can say app version, I'm changing my resources, I'm changing my package name, means Android package, iOS package. So everything I'm doing as a totally dynamic with the help of script. So if you want to know more about scripting, please comment in the video so I can post a new video how to use scripting. So this is very useful thing, because uh, uh, nowadays we have one app, one branch which can which can deploy to different flavors. So in our company there is only one app, so we have only one branch. But when we build for different our clients. So I just change my logo, I change my package name, I change my app name. So everything is dynamic set to the scripting. So scripting is very useful. You can do anything with the script. You can change any file, you can delete, replace, everything you can do when your app is building for Azure. So right now, uh, if you don't have script, please skip this step. And if you have script, you just need to add bash command, and then you just define your script path in your project. So here how to add bash command. So when you click on a plus button, so it will open this window. Here you can search for bash. So here as you see I am getting one template, so just click on add and it will add this bash command. And then in bash command you just need to change the display name. Then you define your script path in your project. So here you see my vertical horizontal dots, so you can click on this and you can browse your script. So this script I have uploaded to my branch, that's why I'm able to select this script. And here is the variables. So here you can define your variables. Okay, so this step is totally optional. If you don't have the script, you can just ignore this step. Okay, now next step is very important. So please add command line as a new task. So same thing, you click on add button, it will open one search window. There you search command line script. Then in the command line script, when you click add, it will add this. Here two things you need to change. One, display name. So here you can define any names whatever you like. So second thing, you just need to write .NET workload install MAUI. So this script you need to write. So everything I have defined in the table, whatever you have to change. So follow this table. If you don't see the image is clear enough, so you can follow this table, whatever I have written here, you can just check it. Then let's move to the next task. So next task is to add .NET Core. So why we add this task is to build your solution file. So here you need to change the display name, then command leave it to build only, and path to your project. So your app name slash solution file. So it will search in your branch, whatever your branch you have building. So in that it will look for solution file. Then other things you just leave empty, nothing you change. So just follow these steps, and just you need to pass the argument. So in this image I forgot to pass the argument. So in this table, if you see here, I'm passing one argument. So this argument you need to write over here. So I just forgot in this image, but you write the argument this, because this argument is very important to build your solution. So see dev. So dev is my configuration. So I have many configuration in my project. One is dev configuration, one is demo, and one is release. So c.dev. So dev means whatever you define your configuration, whatever you have to build for this pipeline, and then this will be your target. So just copy and paste exact what is it. F dot F is equals to net 06 means .NET 6 version, and this will be my platform. So this is F followed by target version slash your platform version. Then everything you leave by default whatever is set. Now next step is to add Android signing. So as you know that .NET MAUI is by default adding your adding adding .aab file. So earlier in the Xamarin we have .apk file. Also we have abb file, but majorly everyone is using the apk file. But in .NET MAUI, to reduce the app size, in the release mode we are using .aab file. So this step is important because generally we sign our apk. So here the different thing is we are signing our aab files. So let's see how we are signing our aab file. So just add this task Android signing version number 2, change the display name whatever you want to like, and here as I have added you know uh, my path to aab file. So here you can define your path. Then you need to tick mark these options, sign the apk. Then here you need to select your keystroke file. So I have selected my keystroke file. Then you need to define your password, alias, your key password, and this argument is very important. So everything I mentioned again in my table. So this table you can follow. Okay, so you can define everything in your pipeline with the help of this table. Next step is we need to copy the file from agent build directory to artifact staging directory. So let's see how we are doing this. So you just add copy file task, change the display name, source folder equals to agent build directory. Again the content I am using assigned AAB file because earlier it was just only .aab file, but in the previous task we already signed it, so my content will change to signed .aab file. Now target folder will be build artifact staging directory. Then this option you need to select, which is flatten the folder. It will by default equals to false, so you need to just tick mark this. So other thing you leave whatever it is by default. Again you can follow this table. So now the last step is we need to add publish build artifact. So in this step we will publish our artifact to the drop directory. So the next step, which is release pipeline, in this we will get our file to the staging directory. So let's see how we are doing this. Add a publish build artifact task, change the name, publish to the path to the publish directory. So we are using the artifact staging directory. Then drop artifact name you write as a drop. Then artifact publish location you define as Azure pipeline, and other things you leave as it is. So this is we have done with our build pipeline. So next step we need to create a release pipeline. So release pipeline is nothing, just it will copy your AAB file and it will add to your app center app. So let's see how we are doing this. But before that, there are some final steps we need to do in build pipeline. So let's see what are these steps. So then this task, we already added the task, whatever needs for that pipeline. Now the next menu, you need to click a variable, and variable you define two things: major version and minor version. Again, this is very optional. If you want to skip, you can skip this step. Then next step is trigger. So this is as you see trigger, you can identify, this is continuous integration step. So in this, why we do this step is, whenever new changes you push to your develop branch, it will automatically run this, build pipeline. So if you don't want to, automatically run your pipeline, you just keep this step, just you disable it. So every time you push your changes to your branch, you manually need to run this pipeline. But I am doing as a automatic, so I am setting my continuous integration to automatic. So I have enabled it continuous integration. I am selecting my branch, which branch I want to run for it. So whenever any changes pushed to this branch, this build pipeline will automatically run. Now next step is you select the option menu and you add this thing. So in the second step, as I mentioned you, is very optional. So here I'm using that two variable, major version and minor version, dot build id. So build id will be auto increment, id. So whenever a new build will run, this build id will increase by 1. So it is auto increment. So this is just a format of my, build pipeline. So then other things you leave it as it is. Azure built Azure release pipeline. So in this release pipeline, what we will do, we will copy our AAB file and we will publish to our App Center app. So you can go to this link, you just change your project name, then you need to select all pipeline, then click on new, and then you can, add one new folder. So I'm adding one new folder as Azure release pipeline. Then next step, select that Azure release pipeline folder. Again, you tap on plus button to add a new release pipeline. So here you see there is one option, new release pipeline. So tap on that. Then you need to select a template. So just select empty job as a template. Next step is it will automatically open this stage menu. So by default it will open this page. So you just delete this staging option. Okay, we will add this stage later. Now you can rename your release pipeline to any name. So I have just set to the MAUI app / Android. Next step is to add the artifact. So how we are doing this? So just click on add an artifact. So here, as you see in my window, I'm clicking this add artifact. So it will open this menu. So here you select build, you select your project, you select your source, build pipeline. So this build pipeline is the first step which we have created a build pipeline. So you define that build pipeline over here. Then you can define this latest alias. You can, define whatever you want to define. So I have defined Mavic / Android. Next step is click on stage. So here you select a template, then you click empty job, then you define your stage name. So I have written a stage name to deploy to App Center, and then just click on this cross button. Next step is go to menu and we'll, define our agent job. So task, you select on task, define your name of your agent. You can define any names. Select Azure pipeline, select Windows specification, select agent specification as Windows 2022. Then everything you leave as by default. Next step is very important. Here we are adding App Center distribute as a task. So how we are doing this? Let's see. So you click on plus button, it will open this menu, search for App Center distribution, click on add button, it will add this task. So define your display name, so define your service connection, and define your apps lung. So apps lung is nothing, just the path of your App Center app name. So you can Google it out how to get the apps lung. So it will give you an option how you can search for your apps lung. Then binary path. So if you remember in our build pipeline, we have publish an artifact to our one of the directory. So you just define that directory over here, and then release note you can just leave it empty. Then next step is retention. So here everything you leave whatever I have said. 30 days for retain the release, minimum release to keep is 3, and this is enable. The next option is select an option. In here we need to define two things, general and integration. So general, here the release format I have written as MAUI dev build. Then this is our revision. So this is a build ID for release number. So this will be auto increment by 1. Then integration checked for status deployment, and other thing you disable it. So here I have checked deploy to App Center, other thing I have disabled it. Now the last step is click the save and set the following folder name, whatever the folder you want to save this release pipeline. And comments, you can give any comment. And then final step is to create release. So here is the release step I am creating. So click on create a new release, select deploy to App Center. Here it will by default add the version name, and then you can click create release thing. So this is all for Android build pipeline. With this, we are done with CI/CD with .NET MAUI. Thank you for watching video. Please subscribe for more updates.